On National Day, I had a 40 degrees Celsius fever, but my girlfriend xiuxian was partying with her crush, and even gave the jade my mom left for my future wife to him. Even her bestie couldn't stand it. That's Chen Ziyuan's late mom's keepsake, and you just gave it away? A broke worker. I am doing him a favor by keeping him.
He's crazy about me. I want him to know I can give away anything, even him.
Outside, I just got back from an IV drip.
Soup in hand for her. I dumped it in the trash.
That night, she asked for 50,000 to travel with her crush. I refused. Chen Ziyuan, what's your problem? Want to ruin the holiday? I smirked. I do, but not with you. Qing, you promised to spend it with me. Why go to Sanya with Lin Hao? Feverish, I leaned on the wall.
Last night, I dragged myself home from KTV, waiting for him to notice. All I got was his drunkenness and disgust. He ransacked my closet, tossing my neat shirts.
Spending holidays with you is embarrassing. Got any decent clothes? These should be trashed. He reached for the Zhongshan suit bag. It was my mom's gift. I never wore it. I tried to stop him. He shoved me.
My back hit the shop corner, elbow scraped on rough wood. Blood appeared. Zhou Yangqing laughed, then
pulled out her phone and snapped pics of my bleeding elbow.
She posted it with a caption,
Chen Ziyuan taking pity over a cheap shirt. So ridiculous. Li Hao instantly replied with a crying laughing emoji. She then dug out my pay stub. This salary, and you talk future? A bag from Lin Hao is worth 3 months of your pay. I clenched my fist, voice shaking. What about the jade from my mom?
You promised to keep it safe. It's the only keepsake for my future wife.
Zhu Yangqing's eyes flickered. Then she snapped. Borrowed it to my bestie. It's just a jade. You're crazy. Really? Let's go see which bestie is wearing it. I dragged her to her usual bar. As soon as we entered, I saw Ling Hao holding the jade. He tossed it to the bartender. This cheap jade isn't worth your drink. Zhou Yangqing clapped. Exactly. Trash belongs in the trash. I was furious.
I rushed to grab it from the bartender. But before I could, Ling Hao kicked me into the bar. My forehead hit the corner, reopening an old scar from high school. Blood streamed down. The crowd jeered, fighting over a jade. What a fool.
Look at his poor look. Hilarious. Ling Hao flashed his watch.
A limited edition I saved up for Zhou Yangqing.
You don't deserve Qing or this watch. Zhu Yangqing smirked, running her nail across my bleeding forehead. Bleeding for sympathy? Who are you fooling? Give me 50,000 for the trip, or I'll have Hao throw you out. I clutched the jade pieces from the floor. Heart aching. Enough. This is my mom's heirloom. How dare you? Zhou Yangqing pointed at my bleeding forehead. You coward. Faking death over a scratch. Send the money now, or I'm done with you. Then she grabbed Ling Hao's arm and left amid the laughter. This time, I was truly done. Zhou Yangqing, Li Hao, just wait. The next morning, before dawn, a loud banging woke me up. Open up. Chen Ziyuan, pay your debt. I opened the door. Several tattooed thugs blocked the door, looking fierce. The bald leader slapped the paper on my face. The boss looked fierce. The bald leader slapped the paper on my face. Chen Ziyuan owes 500,000 in gambling debt. Day after day, or we'll sell this ancestral house. I saw the fake IOU. The signature wasn't mine. I own nothing. This is fake. Just as I tried to explain. Zhou Yangqing showed up. Seeing my injury, she looked flustered. Ziyan, how could you gamble? We said we'd work hard together.
She walks over, pretending to help me.
Tears in her eyes. Just as I foolishly thought she had some conscience, she changed her tune. But a debt's a debt. Don't drag me into it. Sell this dump and pay up. Her face changed so fast. I felt ice cold, utterly heartbroken. A thug shoved me. I hit the wall again. Zhou Yangqing rushed over. Her heel stomped my injured hand. Still faking sick? You broke loser. Sell the house. The pain shot through my hand. She kept grinding. Sign, or I'll break your hand. She poked my injured arm. Back when you protected Chulin, you were so tough.
Now what?
Just a pushover. I looked at her. How many times have I been hurt for you? Haven't I given enough? And what do I get? She got angrier. You poor thing, don't talk. Adults don't fight. My friends use $1,000 bags. Since I've been with you, I use cheap stuff. You're pathetic. Even worse in bed than Ling Hao. I couldn't take it anymore. I pulled out my phone to call the cops. She grabbed it and smashed it. Still mad, she kicked my injured arm. Call the cops. Protect Su Ling. I curled up in pain. My arm was useless. She pulled out her phone, took photos of me, and sent them to our group chat. Look, Chen Ziyuan owes gambling debts and won't pay. Deserved. The chat exploded. A few friends questioned it. She deleted 80 their messages,
leaving only mockery. The thugs trashed the place. A punk asked, Sister Qing,
smash this? She sneered. Smash it. Teach him a lesson. I lunged to protect the dust bag. She grabbed my hair and yanked.
You poor fake. Are you crazy? My scalp burned. The wound on my forehead bled again.
Just then,
The door burst open. Please, freeze. It was Su Ling, but the cops. Seeing the cops, I finally felt relieved that the nightmare was over. But Zhao Yangqing instantly changed her tune. She rushed to the cops crying, "Officers, take a good look. Chen Ziyun abused me and wants to sell the house to gamble." Lin Hao chimed in. "Yeah, officer, he also stole my watch worth hundreds of thousands. The one I wore yesterday." My heart sank. They were out to destroy me. The cops dispersed the collectors. Before leaving, Zhou Yangqing glared at me. "Chen Ziyun, just wait, I'll make your life hell." I looked at my bleeding hand. At my useless right arm, I made up my mind. I must take back everything. They must pay. Just then, my phone rang. It was HR. "Chen Ziyun, your girlfriend reported you for embezzlement. The company has decided to fire you and will file a lawsuit immediately." The blows made me see black. I passed out completely. When I woke up, I was in the hospital with Su Ling. The doctor looked at my x-ray. Green-faced. Old right arm injury flared up. Ligament tear. Need surgery now. Minor fracture on the back of your hand. At least a month to recover. Then I was sent home to bed. But soon after, I was sent home to bed. Sin. Ling Hao barged in with some thugs. He shoved Su Ling, who was by my bedside, to the ground. "Chen Ziyuan, be smart and sign the ancestral house transfer agreement, or I'll cripple you." And this nosy woman today. Ling Hao pulled out a fruit knife, pointing it at my bandaged right arm. "Not signing? Then I'll cut your tendons first. You'll never use your right hand again." Zhou Yangqing came in too. He rushed over and pinned down my injured arm. "Stop wasting time. Just cut him. Let him taste being useless." This hand protected Su Ling in fights. Now it's ruined. Let's see how he protects his childhood sweetheart. The blade pressed down, cutting the bandage. I convulsed in pain, but I gritted my teeth, refusing to make a sound. "If you dare touch Su Ling, I'll never forgive you." Su Ling saw them torturing me. Crying, she rushed to protect me, but the thug shoved her down again. Ling Hao laughed. "Qing Qing, look how protective Su Ling is. How about we, right in front of him, have some fun with this big lawyer?" Out of nowhere, a surge of strength. I shoved Ling Hao off me. The blade cut a long gash on my right arm. Blood instantly soaked the bandage. I roared, "Kill me if you want, but leave Su Ling alone." Zhou Yangqing grabbed my hair and slammed my head into the headboard. "Still resisting, you loser. Accept your fate. Still protecting this bitch." Bang! My forehead split open again. Stars swam before my eyes. Blood ran down my temple, but he just slammed the ancestral house transfer agreement onto my face. "Sign now, or I'll have Hao cut Su Ling's face." I couldn't let Su Ling get hurt because of me. Just then, Su Ling suddenly shouted at Ling Hao. "Ling Hao, you planned the car crash to kill Chen Ziyuan and faked debts to scam his house. I have proof." Hearing this, Ling Hao's face instantly changed. He raised a knife and slashed at Su Ling. "Bitch, I'll kill you first." "No." I threw myself in front of Su Ling with all my strength. The cold blade pierced. "No." I lunged with all my might, blocking Su Ling. The cold blade sank deep into my gut. Blood gushed out. I clutched my stomach, glaring at Lin Hao. "Hush slowly, and I'll fight to the death. You'll die with me." As Lin Hao froze, Su Lai hit the emergency button. Lin Hao and Zhou Yangqing saw trouble, grabbed the agreement, and ran. Before leaving, Zhao Yangqing rushed over, kicked my bleeding gut. "Chen Ziyuan, just wait, the old house is mine." The pain made me curl up, my vision blurring. Blood-soaked gauze pooling on the floor. I recalled my mother's last words. "Son, the feuds in high society run deep. Never go back." "Mom, I'm sorry. I have no choice. I have to go back." Before blacking out, I shoved the note with Dad's old subordinate's address into Su Ling's pocket. "Life, find him." That was my last word before passing out. In the hospital, my gut wound was just stitched, my right arm in a cast. Before I could call the cops, Lin Hao called. On the phone, Su Ling sobs and Lin Hao's laughter. "Chen Ziyuan, come alone to the abandoned warehouse on the outskirts. Sign the house agreement, 1 hour, or you'll never see her again." Without a word, I yanked out the AV, ignored the doctor, and ran out of the hospital. At the warehouse, I saw Su Ling tied to a pillar. Ling Hao held a knife to her throat. "Chen Ziyuan, you are here. Sign, or I'll kill her now." Zhou Yangqing stood by, smirking smugly. "Don't sign and I'll dig up your mom's grave. She won't rest in peace. These bastards threaten my dearest ones." Trembling, I reached for the agreement. Lin Hao suddenly kicked my freshly stitched gut wound. "Think you can pull something, you pauper?" The pain dropped me to my knees. Under the gauze, blood gushed out again. Still not satisfied, he stomped on my casted right arm. "Dang it. You protected Su Ling so well? Where is that now?" "Worthless." The pain nearly made me faint. My gut and arm wounds tore open, bleeding non-stop. But I kept staring at Lin Hao, forcing out words. "Let Su Ling go. I'll sign." Zhou Yangqing walked over and stomped on my fractured hand. "Think signing will save you?" Ling Hao mocked. "Still pretending to be a rich kid?" I checked. "Your parents died long ago. You are just a regular programmer at a small company. You'll never beat me." Gritting through the pain, I used my last strength to roll and slam into Ling Hao. His knife clattered to the floor. I grabbed it and pressed it against my bleeding gut. "Ling Hao, let Su Ling go, or I'll die here. You'll never get the old house." Zhou Yangqing panicked. "Chen Ziyuan, don't be crazy. Let's talk." Seeing his scared face, the pain in my gut made me more determined than ever. I couldn't back down anymore. Just then, Ling Hao punched my reopened forehead wound. "You dare threaten me? I can't take it anymore." I collapsed heavily. My consciousness faded. Ling Hao took the bloody contract and spat on my face. "Trash," he told the thug. Drag him out back. Contact the black market. His organs might still be worth something. He leered at Zhao Ling. As for this woman, clean her up.
Yeah, this how do you spell this, James?
Su Ling screamed in despair. Zhou Yangqing looked down at me. No sympathy, only relief. Xianxian, don't blame me. I just want a good life. She took Lin Hao's arm and left without looking back. Bang! The warehouse door slammed shut. Darkness. Only Su Lin's muffled sobs. Darkness. Only Su Ling's sobs. My life drained away drop by drop. Just as I thought it was over, a deafening crash. The heavy iron door was smashed open from outside. Dozens of men in black suits and white gloves rushed in. They moved fast, exuding killing intent. The lead man knelt beside me. Seeing my wounds, his eyes blazed with fury, but his voice was steady, with a slight tremor. Young master, we're late. Taking you home. Lin Hao and Zhou Yangqing dreamed of riches. They didn't know contact the trap. In the top private hospitals, polyps, the global conglomerate. My father and the world's best medical and the security team were with me. Sanya suffered. His graying temples showed more white. His pain and guilt stung my eyes. Dad, I am fine. I took a report from him.
It had only on Zhao Yangqing and Lin Hao. Lin Hao thought I was dead.
He secretly contacted overseas buyers.
He planned to sell my ancestral home cheap and pocket the money, then disappear. He was getting impatient with Zhu Yangqing.
Photos showed him beating her. Her face was bruised.
Serves her right. She found flirtatious text and a flight ticket on his phone.
She doubted her hero for the first time. She asked if he was going to scam her. Lin Hao easily dismissed her.
He blamed her, saying it was all for their future.
Accused her of not trusting him, making her feel guilty.
He hugged her hypocritically, promising a world tour after the money.
Zhu Yangqing believed him again. To control her completely.
Lin Hei urged her to take more online loans.
To control her completely. He urged her to take more loans, claiming they needed cash to bribe officials for the property transfer. She believed it, signing loan after loan. I scanned the astronomical debts. No emotion. I closed the report. Dad, I want to direct this show myself. Dad patted my shoulder. Go for it. You are Tianqi's successor. Show them what you've got. I called my assistant. Calmly, I gave my first order since waking up. Tell all debt collectors with Xiao Yangxing's contracts to move. Step it up, but don't kill him yet. I want to watch a good show, a dog-eat-dog drama. Zhou Xiangqing still dreamed of being a rich wife, unaware I'd already rung her death knell. Ling Hao, with a fake deed, met an overseas buyer at the city's priciest restaurant. He thought he'd pocket the fortune. He didn't know that behind him, Zhu Yangqing was in hell. Debt collection calls bombarded her like death warrants. 24年切役. While he hid in a cheap rental, Blade and his crew kicked open her door. Miss Zhou, pay up or else. Blade swept her designer bags and makeup off the table. He crushed them underfoot. Want a good life? Pay your debts first. They forced her to kneel and filmed humiliating videos sent to all her contacts. Desperate, she remembered Lin Hao's promises and ran to their meeting spot outside the private room. Through a crack, she heard her prince bragging to the buyer how he'd played a pig-like woman and her idiot boyfriend. Zhu Yangqing, dumb and vague. I fed her any lie, and she bought it. As for her boyfriend, a total loser, he'd fight to the death over jade pendant. Honestly, that woman isn't fit to tie my shoes. Touching her disgusts me. Outside, Zhou's face went pale. She'd sacrifice everything. The cherry love, even taken a murder rap. And to him, she was just trash to discard. The one he'd always despised was the one who truly cared for her. She went berserk. Kicking open the door, she grabbed a pot of boiling Buddha jumps over the wall. She hurled it at Lin Hao's face. He screamed, rolling on the floor. Chaos erupted. Zhou clawed at his face like a madwoman, cursing him non-stop. Lin Hao, you liar! You ruined my life! I'll kill you! Just then, the door burst open. Blade and his crew stormed in, surrounding the brawling pair. Blade slammed a stack of loan contracts in front of Zhou. Miss Zhou, with interest, you owe 30 million. Pay up today, 30 million. Zhao completely broke down. Only then did she realize how badly she'd been scammed. She collapsed, looking at Lin Hao's battered face. At the cold faces around her, she burst into tears. Finally, she thought of me. Of my kindness. Of me getting beaten bloody for that jade pendant. Of me shielding Su Lin wounded. Overwhelming regret flooded her. She got up, pushed through the crowd, and ran out. She had to find me, confess, beg forgiveness. She ran to our old home. Strangers were renovating. She went to my hospital. Nurses said I transferred. No one knew where. She searched every place we'd ever been, but found no trace of me. Night fell. He knelt on the street, calling me again and again. But all he heard was, the number you dialed is off. At that moment, he truly realized he had forever lost the one who once saw him as her world. Lost the one who loved him most.
And this was just the start of his atonement. After recovering, I returned home. My first move was at Xianxia Group's top banquet hall. I threw a grand welcome party for Su Ling, celebrating his official entry into Xianxia Group as head of the legal department. Under the spotlight, I held Su Ling's hand in front of all major media and announced loudly, "Everyone, let me introduce, this is Su Ling, my fiancé." I personally put on hers, a ring made from my mother's broken jade, crafted by world-class jewelers over months. With countless diamonds, it was no longer just a jade pendant, but a unique artwork named Rebirth. The party was live-streamed nationwide. Far away in another city, xiuxian, washing greasy dishes in the kitchen, saw it on someone's phone. He saw me in a suit, full of energy, saw the beautiful Su Ling beside me, saw the rebirth he once thought worthless, now priceless. His precious pride and vanity were crushed by me in the most lavish way. Before the whole world, he finally realized he didn't throw away a stone, but an endless gold mine, while what he chased was just a speck of dust on that mountain. The gap broke him. He collapsed in the dirty kitchen, crying loudly. But this was just the start. I bought the small studio Lin Hao signed with and issued an industry-wide blacklist. I gathered all his scams, women's terrible stories, along with his drug use, promiscuity, and easy spreading evidence into a documentary. At his company's last annual meeting, before the buyout, the documentary played on the big screen, looking for all employees and peers. Lin Hao was ruined. Those here cheated and their backers united to settle scores. His tendons were cut, his face slashed. Like a dog, his tendons were cut, his face slashed. Thrown into the slums he once despised, living on garbage, worse than death. As for Zhou Yangqing, I wasn't letting her off easy. That would be too kind. I had Brother Dao's collection agency legally take over her life. She was forced to carry bricks at dusty sites, wash dishes in greasy restaurants, clean toilets in nightclubs. Every penny she earned was taken by collectors, leaving just enough for 2 buns. I also had the latest rebirth valuation, and my happy moments with Su Ling printed as posters, plastered on her damp dorm wall. I wanted her to taste the bitter fruit she planted day after day. I wanted her to see clearly every exhausted night. What she scorned was a paradise she could never reach. Her parents, after learning my true identity, were full of regret. They brought gifts to Tianqi Group's lobby, begging to see me. But my father's men broke their legs and threw them out. Their company, due to offending Tianqi Group, went bankrupt overnight. Partners canceled contracts. Banks called in loans. They went from respected elites to penniless outcasts. I wanted their money and pride to vanish. In endless torment, Zhou Yangqing finally broke. He clutched a broken bowl from the trash and wandered the once bustling streets, muttering, "Chen Zeyuan, I was wrong. Come back, please. Chen Zeyuan, I love you." That day, I drove past in my Rolls-Royce Phantom and coldly glanced at him. He was disheveled and ragged like a true madman. I picked up the car phone and told my assistant, "It's cold. Time to finish the Zhou family." And my signal, their last shelter. That shabby rental was reclaimed by the landlord. The family of 3 was completely homeless, in crushing despair and endless regret. Zhou Yangqing did something crazy. Dragging his broken body, worn by life and illness, he started from the slums in the east, kneeling every step, crawling toward the towering Tianqi Group headquarters in the city center. Dozens of kilometers, his forehead bleeding, knees worn raw, just to beg me for one last meeting. This shocking scene drew crowds of media and onlookers, all cameras frantically filming his pathetic state. Below, his desperate cries and confessions. Upstairs, my engagement party with Su Ling was held as scheduled in the Sky Garden Ballroom on the top floor. The melodious symphony, the laughter of guests, and the Su Ling's happy tears as I put a ring on her finger, all became the cruelest torture for the woman below. Her cries became the most special salute to our love. Finally, Zhou Yangqing collapsed from exhaustion just steps from the Tianqi building's entrance. He was taken to the hospital by kind people. When he woke, an even more hopeless news awaited him. The doctor told him that due to long-term malnutrition and mental strain, he had a serious illness. Cancer had spread, requiring a huge sum for treatment. His parents, long disappointed by the daughter who ruined everything, left him alone in the hospital while he was unconscious, taking the little money they had and disappearing, abandoned by the world. Zhou Yangqing was at his wit's end. He thought of one last way to atone, donating organs. Trembling, he contacted the hospital's organ donation center, hoping to donate his only healthy organs to me to make up for all the harm he had caused me. A few days later, I received the notice from the hospital. I just sneered and had my seasoned reply with 2 words, "Not worthy." Those 2 words were the final straw for Zhou Yangqing. Even his chance to atone was cruelly taken away. He lay on the cold hospital bed, eyes hollow, lifeless, replaying our past together in his mind. Over and over, every detail of our time together. From the sweet beginning to the later arguments, to the final betrayal and hurt, he finally shed tears of regret. On his deathbed, with his last ounce of strength, he bit his finger and wrote a long blood letter on the sheet. In the letter, he densely poured out his regret and his belated cheap love. Then he pulled out his IV tube and chose to end his pathetic and ridiculous life. A few days later, my assistant handed me the bloodstained sheet.
I didn't even open it.
I threw it straight into the blazing fireplace. The flames reflected my cold face. For his atonement, my only response was to let him, with all his regrets, completely and cleanly vanish from my world. I didn't stop it.
I wanted everyone to see the fate of a traitor.
How miserable could it be? After Xiuxian died, her parents had the nerve to show up. They couldn't find me, so they went to the media, crying on camera, accusing me of being cold-blooded, even fabricating lies about how I drove their daughter to death. They tried to use public opinion to blackmail me, demanding huge compensation from 10C Group. For clowns like them, I didn't even bother to respond publicly. I just nodded to Sulin beside me. He smiled and anonymously sent a complete chain of evidence to all major media, including the recording of Zhou Yangqing confessing at the KTV and Ling Hao showing off the jade pendant at the bar. There was Su Ling's secret recording of Ling Hao and Zhou Yangqing assaulting someone in the hospital room, and Zhou Yangqing's confession at the police station admitting she conspired with Lin Hao
To forge debts and steal my property.
The evidence was ironclad. The truth finally came to light. Public opinion flipped instantly. Zhao's parents became public enemies. Their greedy, shameless, and twisted faces were fully exposed. Finally, Su Ling, on behalf of Tianqi Group's legal department, formally sued them for defamation and extortion. They were sent to prison and got what they deserved. As for Lin Hao, disfigured and crippled, I also learned his fate. In the slums, as for that disfigured, crippled Mei Hao, I learned his fate. In the bitter winter of the slums, he fought a homeless man for a modiban and was beaten to death. His body was found days later. No one cared. All the hatred and entanglements finally settled. I took Su Ling back to my hometown. We restored the old house that witnessed my childhood and the evil of human nature. On a sunny afternoon, at my mother's grave, I placed Su Ling's hand gently on the tombstone and whispered, "Mom, I brought your real daughter-in-law to see you." Su Ling leaned on my shoulder, eyes red.
He told me he had secretly liked me since high school.
Because back then, I was the only one who didn't look down on him for being poor. I even anonymously paid his tuition every semester. He said he studied like crazy, got into a top school, became the best lawyer just to be worthy of me one day. He just didn't expect I was already far beyond his reach. I held him tight and whispered in his ear, "In my darkest hour, you're the light that guided me. It was never that you weren't good enough for me. I am the lucky one to have found you." In the courtyard of the old house, we held a simple, warm wedding. No media, no business elites, only family and true friends. At the wedding, my father held my hand, emotional, and said, "You've truly grown up through this ordeal." He could now entrust Xianxia Group and everything to me. A year later, Su Ling gave birth to a lovely son. We named him Chen Yanan, hoping he'd be cherished and live a peaceful life. I delegated most of the group's affairs to spend more time with family. I took my wife and son on a world tour, making up for lost time and giving them all my love. Under the Aegean sunset, watching Su Ling and our child's bright smiles, I finally understood true happiness. It's not wealth or power, but a warm home and two people worth protecting for life.